Hello everyone, my name is Ezekiel Emmanuel and today I'll be discussing on the topic Melchizedek. Now who is Melchizedek? Melchizedek is an ancient, king of Salem. It is written that Melchizedek doesn't have a father or a mother, but yet somehow he still exists in our world. And I'll be taking my text from Hebrews chapter 7 verse 3. He is without father or mother or genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but resembling the Son of God, he continues a priest forever. Now if you read from the beginning of this chapter, Hebrews chapter 7, you'll find out that they're specifically talking about Melchizedek. He's known as King of Peace, King of Righteousness. But the thing is, who is this king and how is it that he can exist? It's more like, how is it that this King of Righteousness, King of Salem, Melchizedek, can exist physically without having a father or mother? No genealogy, but he somehow physically exists. And this is a biological being. It's not just a spirit that people can see that is moving about and is called the king. This is a physical, biological king. So now this means that Melchizedek is a humanoid alien. Yes, Melchizedek is a humanoid alien. Now you might be wondering, how is it that he's a humanoid alien? Now the reason why is because he's from another world. He's from another galaxy. That is how he's able to come into our world without having any father or mother. If you think about it, any being that enters, different world, now the natives of that world will consider this being, this alien being that somehow looks like them, that is similar to their own biology and even concerning skin color and looks very, very similar to them and how they look. But still, he's not from there. Now they might not know that, but the thing that they'll point out, the alienistic things that they'll point out about this being, this unique being that still looks like them, is that he doesn't have a father or a mother. Yes, he looks like them, but he doesn't have a father or mother, but he still exists in their world. Why? Because he came from another world, and that is Melchizedek. Melchizedek is a humanoid alien. Now humanoid aliens are extraterrestrial beings that look very, 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 very human in nature. And there are different levels of humanoid aliens. There is the level 1, which is a humanoid alien that has the physiology of a human being. That is, in that level, it looks humanoid. And there's the second level that the skin looks just a little bit similar to human beings, and also the hands, which are part of the unique features of a human, looks very, very similar to the human hands. And also going to the human legs, the legs are very similar to the human legs. And now the 3 and 4 goes into the bone structure of this humanoid alien. Looks very similar to our own, but still have some alienistic features. And even the synthesis of the cells of this bone, and even the fiber and the proteins inside of this bone, has some alienistic parts of it, but the rest look very similar to human beings. And even the voice, the vibrational wave, look very, very similar to human beings. Doesn't have an unnaturally high tone or an unnaturally low tone, or alienistic, given the term. And even the eye color is very, very similar to human beings. And even the hairs, the synthesis of the hair, the DNA of the hair, is even different, and even shows that the lineage is very, very, very alienistic in nature. The lineage is not the lineage of humans, but something else that looks very similar to humans, by checking the data of the DNA of this biological entity that is very humanoid in nature. Now Melchizedek is on the level 5 scale. That is why he's able to speak with Abraham, and Abraham did not confront him saying that, why is it that there's this feature about your body that is different from everybody else? And he even relates with God, talks about God to Abraham. If you read in some chapters in Genesis, you see that he talks about God and even blesses Abraham with the name of God, and even gave him human dreams to show that this humanoid alien, his nature was even evolving to the unique nature of the planet Earth. Has already evolved. So the unique thing about this humanoid alien called Melchizedek is that he actually his DNA was evolving to the nature of Earth. So that means that his nature is more than just a terrestrial scale, which is referring to his own home world in Heaven Galaxy. It now shows that he's now able to adjust to the natures of not just his home world but also this world. He's now able to live and eat human food without dying because his nature has already evolved. His genetic structure has evolved on the epigenetic scale. Now, what I mean by the epigenetic scale is that epigenetics is all about how the environment influences the genetic structure and how the body understands the genetic structure. And even the proteins that come out of the unique transcriptome even of the DNA that is formed. Every single thing evolves based on what happens in the environment. That is why it is said man is a product of his environment. And it's not just humans that are a product of their environment, because as you can see here, Melchizedek is also influenced by the environment. His system now has to evolve according to the environment. But moving on, the only alienistic thing that we could ever find out about Melchizedek is the fact that it is stated that he doesn't have a father or a mother. So that means that those around him in his own time when he was on earth that thought that he is a normal human being, even though there's some mysterious things that he must have been saying. Because another unique thing about humanoid aliens on these different levels, either level 5 or level 6, is that they say some things that are much more advanced than any human being will say, and things that have to do with extraterrestrial nature and even deeper information about the cosmos than any other human being, and even advanced information that is beyond the age of that time. So that means that Melchizedek must have been talking about some things that are way ahead of the species that existed in that time. That's why there's the Bronze Age. There are different ages of the human intellectual evolution. So since Melchizedek is a humanoid alien, he must have been talking about things that are way beyond the stage of the human intellectual development. That's why when they ask him, even on other subjects, and even basically subjects of discussion, that he was talking with other people, and they now ask him about his parents, and where he comes from, I'm sure that some of them must have found out that he doesn't have a father or a mother, and he still exists. That must have blown their minds. So that means that the people that found out in that time, it must have been too much for them to handle. So they might just think that this person that we think is a human being and looks very human is not from here. But his name is Melchizedek, and he believes in God.